This is Kenneth Turan, and this is my DVD Pick of the Week. This week I'm going to talk about three leading ladies, three women who were stars in Hollywood, but not the stars we always think about. The oldest chronologically is Pola Negri. Pola Negri was a great silent film star. Before Garbo, before Dietrich, she was a star who came from Europe, came to Hollywood, became an even bigger success. There's a new set out of some of her earliest European films, 4 silent films from 1917, 1918, including one called The Yellow Ticket, a famous look at anti-Semitism, and one with a fabulous title, Eyes of the Mummy Ma. I have not seen that one, but it sounds very promising. Second actress is well known by name, but a lot of her films aren't that much seen. That would be Jean Harlow. Warner Archives has a 100th anniversary collection that's just out. It's a box set of 7 Harlow titles. In Saratoga, she co-stars with Clark Gable. In Reckless, she co-stars with William Powell. My favorite film in this set is Bombshell, in which she co-stars with Lee Tracy, who is one of the great fast-talking actors from the period. She plays a Hollywood star who wants to quit the business. This is an inside Hollywood satire that is really surprisingly funny.
I don't care. I said let him in. I'll attend to Mr. Hanlon. All right, let him in. Trying to keep my friends out of the Jim.
Hiya, babe.
They just told me you'd come back on the lot. Gee, you look swell.
So do you, Lola.
I was sorry to hear about your divorce.
Oh, don't be. Maybe that's why I'm looking so good.
Just couldn't make it work, could you?
Nah, but I don't blame her. She was out of the business, couldn't get used to the long hours, and, well, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I was a fool to ever looked at anybody but you, Lola.
You kind of stood me up, didn't you, Jim? I guess a girl's got to lose her head once just to get it back again for keeps.
You know, darling, just seeing you again makes me crazier than ever about you.
Cut, Jim, cut.
No, on the level, honey. I mean it this time. What do you say?
I say we go to work.
The third actress is Jean Arthur, who was best known for co-starring with people in Frank Capra's films. She co-starred with Jimmy Stewart in Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. She co-starred with Gary Cooper in Mr. Deeds Goes to Town. But in this series, we have 4 of her comedies from the 1930s, where you can see kind of how amusing she was and how her reputation built as she went from film to film.
Human appeal, you've ruined the magazine.
Oh, that's not fair, Mr. Gilbert. Why, every article and editorial in there is yours, just as you lined it up. I merely put a new dress on it, gave it a little ballyhoo to help it sell.
Look what you've done to my article on calisthenics in the home. Illustrated with an actress taking a sunbath upside down. And in place of my diet chart, you've got 2 pages of actors and actresses fooling around Palm Springs.
But everybody's interested in movie stars and everything they do, and that shows how they keep fit.
This is a health magazine, Miss Baldwin. Health, not a circus. You were brought in here as a secretary, not an advisor. And just because I was foolish enough to ask your opinion about the magazine, you took advantage of it. You're like all the other women in business. You can't keep your place. Let me tell you something.
No, I'll tell you, Mr. Gilbert. You insult people and you act like a lunatic. There, I'll get a few off my chest.
That'll be all out of you.
No, it won't either. You oughtn't to be editing a health magazine. You ought to be getting a paper out for cracked nuts. You're not a human being. You're an animated carrot.
You're fired.
No, I'm not. I've already resigned.